Tonight I have a couple of treats for you. Early English Text Society booklets. One is An Antidote Against Atheism by Henry Moore, and the other is Thoughts on Children's Education by John Locke. Now, Henry Moore fails right out of the gate. It is the 1600s, and the gentleman first defines his terms. God is a perfect being, and then he proceeds to throw all these words at you. Unfortunately for him, modern science just wrecked it right from the start, because physics says perfection is simply not possible. Science tells us that none of us would be here if perfection had been part of this universe. No. The only reason we're here is because a little more matter existed than antimatter in the early Big Bang series of events. So, perfection, like the speed of light, not happening. You can seek to achieve it as much as you like, but the achievement's not going to happen. Just how it is. Sorry, ducklings, but the ducklings will have to find something else to worry about. And then he does the 1600s equivalent of the Gish Gallop, with throwing words at you. But frankly, God could have done it like that. He didn't have to write a book and go through all this shenanigans. Just be done with it. Right? And the psychologists and brain scientists, neuroscientists for the rest of us, have also studied the matter. And all you're doing is transferring psyche that existed between mother and child, and you're turning into the great father symbol, because we live in a patriarchy. It's just how it is. So, failure all the way around. I'm sorry, you haven't proven, one, that there is a God, and two, that said God exists, or that your God is right from all the other ones. So, why bother? Okay? So, if you like that sort of thing, you can try it for yourself and see what you make of it. The next is John Locke with his thoughts on education of children. Now, I am reluctant to take advice from anyone who isn't a parent. John Locke never married and had children, so perhaps it's just as well. However, he had some thoughts, but they were all based upon the 1750s. And medical science has advanced since then, to say the least. But we still do retain much of his ideas in our current educational system. That may not be for the best. Now, he was limiting his remarks to gentlemen. It's children, the kind that have nursemaids and tutors and governesses, and they have crammers to help them get into college, and Oxford University. And they go to Eton and all the public schools, the big guys over there, Oxford, Cambridge, and so on. So you see, it's not meant for everyone. However, he did include that all the children, in his case boys, because only boys got educated back then, the idea that they must learn a craft so that they can go out and get a job and earn a living. Okay, now if you're a rich gentleman's son, you have a living. You have the law, you have medical science in certain cases, you have the priesthood, or you can go and become a soldier. There you go. Those are your career choices if you're a younger son. And most of them opted for law or the military. So their career path, they didn't really need to. Maybe they do now, but they didn't back then. Still, his ideas are quite out of date. He had some idea. Well, Darwin hadn't spoken yet, so he had no idea that babies weren't born with empty heads, blank slates, and all that sort of thing, which we found to not be true. So, you know, there's a lot wrong in the book. Now, he was generally in favor of keeping kids at home for their schooling so they couldn't come under the bad influences of other people. So you could keep a tight grip on your kids. Well, that doesn't actually help them when they have to go out in the world afterwards and deal with other people. They have to have some sort of exposure to the rough and tumble of life and some socialization. So I'm not for homeschooling, sorry. Children have to put up with their parents far long enough, in my opinion. At least I know I did. So, send them off to school, by all means. Girls, of course, were kept at home and taught dancing and drawing and conversation and smattering hither and yon. They did get a real education. But Locke was in favor of them getting some, hopefully to make them better wives and mothers. Oh dear. So, a lot has changed since then, and I think for the better. Now, you're going to have to put up with some typeface differences. The lowercase f might not be an F. It might be double S's. Or even a single S. So you see prof. Lots of F's everywhere. But not all of them are F's. Okay? And just take it easy. It's still intelligible and it's reasonably modern English. They're a little more ornate and they like to really talk a lot. So they use the maximum amount of words to say the slightest thing. You have to get used to that a bit. But other than this, they're both very easy to read. And they're both available free on the internet in these days of perhaps approaching lockdown. So, I hope this helps. And look into the early English text society. You might find something interesting. Thank you for watching. Hope this helps. And please do come again.